Let me tell you something most men don't understand. The moment you start caring too much about a woman, you've already lost her. I know that sounds harsh, but listen up. You think being the nice guy, always available, always texting first, always putting her on a pedestal is going to make her want you more? Wrong. It makes her lose respect for you, because a woman doesn't want to be your world. She wants to orbit around you. Why do the men who ignore her get the most attention? Why does she chase the one who seems uninterested? It's not because she enjoys games. It's because she's wired to respect strength, not desperation. And if you don't learn this, you'll keep getting left behind, wondering why she suddenly lost feelings. Stay with me, because by the end of this speech, you'll understand exactly why women crave men who stand firm, who don't seek approval, and who refuse to lose themselves just to impress her. Women don't respect a man who is always available, always seeking her validation. When she senses that you're prioritizing her over your own life, she instinctively pulls away. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding attraction. A man who values himself doesn't beg for attention, he commands it. Ever notice how the moment you stop caring, she suddenly wants to know what you're up to? That's because women are drawn to mystery, not predictability. The guy who isn't waiting on her texts, who isn't constantly checking up on her, he's the one who intrigues her the most. You think showering her with compliments makes you attractive? No, what makes you attractive is walking into a room like you own it, regardless of whether she notices you or not. Women don't fall for words, they fall for presence. Your aura, your confidence, your ability to walk away, that's what makes you powerful. If you let her walk all over you, if you allow disrespect just because you like her, she will never see you as a man of value. Women test men. They want to see if you'll stand up for yourself. If you don't, she'll lose interest. But if you do, she'll respect you. And respect is the foundation of attraction. A man obsessed with a woman loses sight of his purpose. And the moment you lose focus on your goals, you lose your power. Women don't want a man whose world revolves around them. They want a man who is so locked into his mission that she has to work for his attention. Nothing is more attractive than a man who isn't afraid to walk away. When you're willing to let go, when you know you can do just fine without her, that's when she respects you the most. Because now she sees you as a man who has options, a man who isn't desperate, a man who chooses his woman, not chases her. So stop caring too much. Stop putting her first. Stop thinking that love means sacrifice, because the moment you start valuing yourself, the moment you stop needing her approval, that's when she'll start chasing you. Women prefer men who don't put them on a pedestal, but stand firm on their own. Now, the question is, are you ready to become that man? When you chase a woman too much, you don't just show her interest, you show her neediness. And neediness is the biggest killer of attraction. The more you pursue her, the more she pulls away. That's just how human psychology works. We don't value what comes easy, we value what we have to earn. And women by nature are wired to test a man's strength, his self-control, and his sense of value. If you're always chasing, always proving yourself, always trying to impress her, you fail that test every single time. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed that the guy who ignores her, the one who doesn't seem to care, somehow gets all of her attention? She wonders why he isn't looking at her the way other men do. She questions why he hasn't texted her back yet. She finds herself thinking about him more, analyzing every interaction, because she doesn't have him figured out. That sense of mystery, that feeling of uncertainty, sparks her attraction. But the guy who constantly texts first, who is always available, who showers her with attention, he doesn't create any mystery. He makes it easy for her. And what comes easy is never valued. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding that attraction is built on polarity. Masculine energy is about direction, purpose, and confidence. Feminine energy is about emotion, response, and seeking security. When a man positions himself as the one who needs her approval, who is waiting for her validation, he is giving up his masculine power. And the moment he does that, she loses respect for him. Women don't consciously decide to pull away from needy men. It happens instinctively. It's like a switch in their mind. They can't help it. Now, some men think that if they just try harder, if they're nicer, if they give more, she'll finally see his worth. But that's not how it works. Women don't fall in love with the man who puts them on a pedestal. They fall for the man who makes them feel like they have to earn his attention. The moment she feels like she has you completely, without effort, without challenge, she gets bored, and boredom is the death of attraction. You have to be willing to pull back, to let her wonder, to make her question where she stands with you. This isn't about being rude or disrespectful. It's about showing that your world does not revolve around her, that you have your own mission, your own priorities, and that she is just a part of your life, not the center of it. A woman wants to feel like she's chasing something valuable. If she feels like she already has you, she stops trying. This is why you see so many women fall for the guy who seems distant, the one who doesn't give them constant reassurance. She works harder for his attention because deep down, she craves the validation of winning him over. But when a man is always present, always eager, always available, there's no challenge. There's no excitement. And without that, attraction fades. The hardest part for most men is letting go of the fear that if they stop chasing, she'll lose interest completely. But the truth is, if she was only interested because you were constantly pursuing her, then she was never truly interested in you, just the attention you gave her. Real attraction comes when a woman sees a man who is so sure of himself, so focused on his own path, that he doesn't need to prove anything. That's the man she respects. That's the man she desires. Because deep down, every woman wants to be with someone she sees as strong, as independent, as valuable. And value is never desperate. Value doesn't chase, it attracts. Indifference is one of the most powerful forces in attraction. A man who is not overly invested in a woman's attention or approval holds all the power. When a woman senses that a man is indifferent to her, that he is not emotionally dependent on her reactions, something shifts in her mind. She starts to wonder why. She starts to question what makes him different. And most importantly, she starts to feel the pull of attraction. Because deep down, women don't want a man they can completely figure out. They want a man who keeps them guessing, who makes them feel like they have to work to earn his interest. Most men make the mistake of thinking that if they give a woman everything, constant attention, reassurance, compliments, she will appreciate them more. But the truth is, when you give too much without her having to earn it, she takes it for granted. She doesn't value what is handed to her on a silver platter. She values what she has to work for. It's why the guy who doesn't immediately chase after her, the one who seems to have other things going on in his life, is the one who holds her attention the most. He is unpredictable. He is not easy to impress, and that makes him exciting. Women are naturally drawn to men who appear to have options, who seem to be in control of their emotions. When a man is indifferent, when he doesn't react emotionally to every little thing she does, she starts to respect him. She sees that he is not like the others. He is not desperate for her time, her approval, or her validation. That creates an aura of mystery, and mystery fuels attraction. The reason why some women chase after emotionally unavailable men is not because they enjoy being treated badly, but because they are wired to desire a challenge. When a man is too available, too eager, too accommodating, he removes that challenge. And without a challenge, there is no excitement. This is why detachment is so powerful. When you stop trying to impress her, when you stop seeking her validation, when you show that her attention is not your priority, she begins to view you differently. She starts to feel that she has to prove something to you. And that shift is what makes her attraction grow. The more uncertain she is about how much you care, the more invested she becomes in figuring it out. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be rude or disrespectful. It simply means that you have to carry yourself with the mindset that you are the prize. A man who knows his worth never chases, he attracts. He does not put a woman on a pedestal. He does not center his life around her. He focuses on himself, on his goals, on his own mission. And because of that, women naturally gravitate toward him. A man who truly understands the power of indifference knows that the moment he stops caring too much, The moment he removes a woman from the center of his world, she will start chasing him. Because in her mind, a man who does not need her approval must be a man of high value. And high value men are the ones women respect, desire, and pursue. The moment you put a woman at the center of your life, you lose your edge. You lose the very thing that makes you attractive in the first place. Your sense of purpose, your focus, your drive. Women are not drawn to men who worship them. They are drawn to men who are driven by something greater than them. The second you start making her your priority over your goals, she starts losing interest. It's not because she wants to be ignored. It's because she wants to feel like she's with a man who has a mission, a man who has a backbone, a man who knows his value with or without her. A man who is too invested in a woman loses his masculine energy. He starts adjusting his behavior to please her, trying to avoid upsetting her, seeking her approval in everything he does. And when a man does this, he becomes predictable. Predictability kills attraction. She knows exactly how you will react, exactly what you will say, exactly how you will behave. There is no challenge, no excitement, no sense of wonder. And the moment she can fully predict you, she stops feeling the desire to chase you. The reason women prefer men who don't care too much is because those men radiate confidence. They are not looking for external validation. They are not bending over backward to be liked. They are simply living their lives, focused on their own success, their own growth, their own mission. And that energy is irresistible. A man who is truly confident does not need to constantly reassure a woman that he loves her, does not need to seek her approval, does not need to prove his worth to her. His presence alone is enough. But when a man starts caring too much, texting too often, worrying about what she thinks, being available 24/7, he subconsciously signals that he does not have anything else going on in his life. And that is the biggest turnoff for a woman. She wants to feel like she has to earn your time, not like you are just handing it to her because you have nothing better to do. She wants to feel like she has to work for your attention, not like you are just giving it away because you are afraid of losing her. This is why you see so many men get into relationships and then suddenly lose their ambition, their passion, their independence. They become comfortable, and in that comfort, they lose the very qualities that made them attractive in the first place. A woman does not want to be your entire world. She wants to be a part of your world. She wants to feel like she's with a man who has a strong foundation, who is stable in himself, who does not need her to feel complete. Men who don't care too much naturally create a sense of scarcity, and scarcity creates value. When something is too easy to get, it's not appreciated. But when something is rare, when something is difficult to attain, it becomes valuable. Women know when a man has options, when a man is in demand, when a man is not desperate for love or attention, and that makes them want him even more. The truth is, the less you try to impress her, the more impressive you become. The less you seek her validation, the more she wants to prove herself to you. The moment you stop caring too much about her is the moment she starts caring more about you. Because deep down, every woman wants to be with a man who is secure in himself, who stands firm in his power, and who does not need her approval to know his worth. Women are drawn to men who don't put them on a pedestal because those men exude strength, confidence, and self-respect. The moment you stop making a woman the center of your universe, she starts paying attention. She starts wondering why you're different, why you're not chasing her like everyone else, why you seem unaffected by her presence. And that's where the power lies. It's in your ability to be unaffected, to be unbothered, to not let her dictate your emotions. Most men make the mistake of thinking that if they constantly remind a woman of how much they care, if they always show up when she calls, if they rearrange their entire lives just to make her happy, she will love them more. But the truth is, the moment she realizes she has full control over you, the moment she sees that you are willing to do anything just to please her, she starts losing respect. Because women don't respect men who prioritize them over themselves. They don't respect men who are willing to sacrifice their own self-worth just to keep them happy. A man who truly understands attraction knows that his power comes from his ability to walk away. The moment you show a woman that you don't need her to be happy, that your life is complete with or without her, she begins to see you as high value. And high value men don't chase. High value men don't beg for attention. High value men don't make a woman feel like she's the prize, because they know that they are the prize. When a woman feels like she has to work for your time, when she feels like she has to earn your attention, that's when she values you the most. Because people only value what they have to put effort into. If you make things too easy, if you are always available, if you are always catering to her every need, she will start to take you for granted. She won't appreciate what she doesn't have to fight for. This is why some women end up chasing men who seem emotionally unavailable. It's not that they want to be ignored. It's that they are naturally wired to desire what they cannot fully have. The moment you make yourself scarce, the moment you stop responding to every text immediately, the moment you stop seeking her approval, she starts wondering why. She starts thinking about you more, and the more she thinks about you, the more she becomes emotionally invested. The reality is, women want men who are in control of their own emotions. A man who is not easily swayed by a woman's mood, who does not get anxious when she pulls away, who does not seek validation from her. This is the type of man that commands respect, and respect is the foundation of attraction. If she does not respect you, she cannot truly desire you. When you stop caring too much, when you stop trying so hard to impress her, you become the man that she actually wants. Because you are no longer giving her the power. You are no longer allowing her to dictate the pace of the relationship. You are standing firm in your own presence, in your own masculinity, in your own self-worth. And that is what makes her want you more. Not because you're playing games, not because you're manipulating her emotions, but because you are showing her that your value does not come from her approval, it comes from within you. A man who is too emotionally invested in a woman loses the ability to lead. He becomes reactive instead of proactive. He starts tailoring his decisions, his actions, and even his beliefs around what he thinks will make her happy. And the moment a woman senses that a man is basing his entire sense of self-worth on her approval, she starts losing interest. Why? Because she doesn't want to be the leader in the relationship. She wants to be with a man who is secure in himself, who knows where he's going, and who doesn't need her to validate him every step of the way. Men often misunderstand what women truly want. They think that by constantly checking in, by proving their love over and over, they will win a woman's heart. But attraction doesn't work that way. The men who are the most attractive are the ones who do not place a woman at the center of their lives. They are the men who continue to chase their dreams, who stay focused on their mission, and who do not let a woman's presence or absence affect their sense of purpose. When you care too much, you become predictable. Predictability is one of the biggest killers of attraction. If she knows exactly how you'll react, if she knows that no matter what she does, you will always be there, she stops feeling excitement. She stops feeling that rush of uncertainty, that feeling of wanting to impress you, of wanting to earn your attention. And once she stops feeling that, she starts looking elsewhere for it. The truth is, women do not want a man who worships them. They want a man they can admire. And a man who is overly focused on a woman loses that admiration because he has made her his priority instead of himself. Women are naturally drawn to men who have options, not just with other women, but in life. A man who knows his worth, does not chase, does not beg, does not overextend himself just to be liked. He lets his presence speak for itself. Men who don't care too much naturally create an aura of mystery, and mystery fuels attraction. She starts wondering what he's thinking, what he's doing, why he isn't constantly seeking her attention. That curiosity pulls her in. It makes her invest emotionally, and the more she invests, the more she values him. The biggest mistake men make is thinking that detachment means disrespect. It doesn't. It means having standards. It means knowing that your life has value beyond a relationship. It means never letting your emotional state be controlled by whether a woman is giving you attention or not. Because the moment you make a woman your emotional center, you lose control. you lose attraction. This is why the men who seem to have the least concern for a woman's approval often end up being the ones who attract them the most. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about being whole, independent, and focused on your own path. Women don't want a man who is constantly trying to prove his worth. They want a man who already knows it. And that is why men who don't care too much always win. The moment you stop caring too much, everything changes, not just in your relationships with women, but in how people perceive you in general. See, when a man cares too much, when he overthinks, overinvests, and overextends himself, he gives off an energy of neediness. And nothing repels a woman faster than a man who is too available, too eager, too desperate to please. Women don't chase men who put them first. They chase men who put themselves first. Think about it. When you make a woman your main focus, you automatically tell her without saying a word that she has more value than you, that her attention, her time, her approval is something you are willing to work for, maybe even beg for. And what does that do? It kills attraction, because attraction isn't built on comfort. It's built on challenge, on uncertainty, on the feeling that she has to earn a place in your life. The men that women respect, the men that women admire, are the ones who live by their own rules. They don't seek approval. They don't change their plans just because a woman might be interested in them. They don't act like getting a woman is some kind of life achievement, because they know something most men don't. Women are drawn to men who don't need them. When you stop caring too much, you send a powerful message. I am enough. My life is enough. My purpose is enough. And whether you are in it or not, I will be just fine. That kind of mindset is magnetic. It makes a woman stop and think. Why isn't he like the others? Why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he reacting to my games? And when she starts thinking about you like that, she starts wanting you, because suddenly you are a puzzle she can't solve. The biggest misconception men have is that women want a guy who is always there, always available, always proving himself. But the truth is, women want a man who makes them feel like they need to step up to keep him. They want a man whose presence is valuable, and value doesn't come from overgiving. It comes from knowing your worth, setting your standards, and refusing to let anyone, no matter how beautiful, no matter how desirable, make you forget who you are. That's why the moment you stop caring too much, you become the man women actually want, not because you're playing games, not because you're being manipulative, but because you finally understand that your power comes from within. And a man who owns his power will never have to chase, because the right women will always come to him. At the end of the day, the truth is simple. Women don't fall for the man who worships them. They fall for the man who values himself first. The moment you stop overinvesting, stop overthinking, and stop seeking her approval, you reclaim your power. You shift from being the man who chases to the man who attracts. Because attraction isn't about proving yourself, it's about knowing your worth and standing firm in it. When you become the man who is focused on his mission, who lives life on his own terms, and who never makes a woman his purpose, everything changes. You will no longer find yourself wondering why she's pulling away, why she's losing interest, why she's not responding the way you want, because by then it won't even matter. You'll realize that the moment you stopped caring too much, you became the kind of man she couldn't ignore. And that's when the real power begins.